Welcome back to Because We Got High with Rhea, Kelly, and Bree. This week, you can call us your bitches because it's episode 2. It's B week. We're going to get to that, of course, bitches, blunts, and boobs. Obviously, there were a lot of good topics. You know, birthdays came up, breakups came up, a lot of B words, but don't worry because we're going to get back to B. Once the alphabet ends, we'll end up at the top again, so we'll get to those. How are we both doing today, though, ladies? How are we doing?
I personally am having a good day. I feel I got a decent night's sleep last night. I got up, I curled my hair today, got a little lunch right on time. Feeling good. Feeling good today.
Yeah. I think I was feeling good, and then now I'm tired, but I need to wake myself up. So maybe these topics will get me excited.
Did we put you in a bad mood because we were singing?
They were singing musicals, and I fucking hate musicals, and maybe that changed my mood.
Sometimes
I was worried about that. I was worried
hate happiness.
No, I just hate singing. I hate singing unless you're good.
Okay,
Do you guys
Brianna. I don't know if
you're
you
like-
heard
if you
the
guys-
rendition of Bet on It just now, but it
Oh
was
my
great.
God.
Listen, I don't claim to be a good singer.
Exactly.
It's my
I do.
passion. Singing is my passion. And sometimes I say to myself, why should I not follow my passion and dreams if I'm bad at it? Yeah, no, my dream actually,
Pop star?
All right, here quickly, yes, pop star.
Of course.
Real quick, I do think I have the charisma to be a pop star. I don't have the voice by any means, but
Auto-tune.
my proof that I think I could be a pop star comes with so many people tell me I look like Dua Lipa, and right there gives me proof that I could be a pop star, right? Because if I look like Dua Lipa and I have the charisma, which I am sure I do if I were to get up on stage, I'd goddamn perform my heart out.
Yeah.
It's the singing that's the problem. I have a terrible voice.
But what kind of, what genre of pop would you fall into? Like Dua Lipa's she's poppy, but I feel like she has some sad songs, some bad bitch vibes. Would you be a bad bitch vibe like her? I feel like you just could take over for Dua Lipa, really.
I feel like I'd be like a Christina Aguilera.
That's
I want to say Britney Spears.
So it's if only you had that voice, like
voice.
Christina, yeah.
Yeah,
You could be Christina.
Like
Yeah,
that,
I know what you're saying, though.
That good grr.
Yeah.
But I don't have that.
It's a hard thing to have.
And yes, of course, I would say I'd love to be Britney Spears, but I think I'd probably be more of a Christina. What do you think?
I think so too, because I mean, I love Britney. Never catch me talking shit about Britney.
Oh, no.
But Britney was always very bubblegum pop star forever. I feel like Christina, she did the Dirty video, so automatically she's a badder bitch in my mind. Britney later did, Slave for You, all of the above. She became a
those are
badder
fire.
bitch, but Christina was like an OG.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, it's my dream, it's my passion, but I'll never get
It's
there.
your dream and your
unfortunately.
passion.
Yeah.
Well, you're good at this.
Thank you. So are you.
You have a good regular voice.
I don't. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I feel like.
Well, everyone hates
I
their own
don't.
voice.
That's the thing.
No, I hate my voice, and people always are like, "You have a really manly, deep voice," and I'm like, "Yeah,
That's not
whatever.
true.
That's cool."
People tell me that I have a manly voice. They've told me that for a long time. Can I
That's-
tell you one fucking story?
So not true though. Like for me, yeah, I kind of have a deep voice. You have a very girly, sex worker voice.
That's so nice of you to say. 1, 2, somebody that knows my mom once made this offhanded comment being like, oh, that my voice was deep. I can't remember exactly what it was, but now it's a running joke in my house. My dad's like, oh, you and your man voice, oh, your deep ass voice. It has become a joke. But I do not feel like my voice is that deep.
I don't find it quite funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to
not
laugh along,
funny.
but I'm really not
I don't
laughing
think-
anymore.
Someone told
to
me
be
my
honest.
voice. Someone commented on my TikTok, and they were like, "I mean this in the best way possible, but your voice sounds hollow, like there's nothing inside. It's just a hollow." And I was like, "What does a
Weird.
hollow voice sound like?" Me? I guess I have a hollow voice.
I don't even know if I know
I
what that means.
understand
I
it.
kind of agree.
Like a hollow voice. I don't know.
I don't know what that means, but I
Who else would have a hollow voice?
See, I don't know.
see, you're laying your
Yeah, I do
who
that. That is
else
how I,
would have a hollow voice?
Yeah.
Like you're really laying it on thick.
yeah,
Kelly,
I'm thinking
you
about it a lot
have a
now.
very airy, light,
Thank you.
lovely voice. Don't worry.
Thank you, that's
it's
nice.
not manly.
It's a good voice.
I
It's a good
appreciate that.
I don't
voice.
think yours is manly either.
I think Breeze is the
thank you.
girliest for sure. You have
Really?
the I think you have the highest voice.
I don't know.
Good. I'm glad we established that.
Okay,
Who's
good, yeah.
got
Yeah.
who's got what
cares.
voice?
Nobody fucking cares.
I know
Everyone's
everybody
like,
listening is
I
like,
care.
all right, shut up, bitches.
They're
Let's get on with the show.
they're still getting to know us, and this is part of it. You have to know which of us has which voice is which.
Yeah, and who wants to be a pop star and cannot ever
Yes.
make it as one. So we resort to podcasting. But let's get into today's topics, today's show. First of all, thank you everybody who listened to the first episode. Hope you're still here. If you listened to the first one, hope you came back to
yeah.
the second one.
Yes.
And then some. I hope you sent to your friends and your friends of friends, maybe your family members if they're into that sort of thing. And whoever you know, share the episodes with them. And thank you for rating and reviewing and subscribing. Let's keep doing that. And if you are listening to this episode, make sure you tag us on your Instagram stories and, Twitter. Our producer will put the tags in the description. So if you're listening, tag us. We'll be sharing it all over the place. Let's get into today's show. Let's start off with bitches. Bitches. There's so
Bitches.
many different kinds of
Bitchy,
bitches.
bitches.
Bitchy bitches. Mainly, I wanted to talk about Kelly Keeks. I feel like
Oh shit. Okay.
you're a huge bitch.
I
Yeah.
feel
No, I'm
like
kidding.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, you're right about that.
we talked about it before, like in high school. Big bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we talk about what you were like in high school?
We can talk about that.
Okay.
We also what you guys are like in high school.
Yeah,
not just
all-
me.
no,
okay.
all of us.
We won't just center around you, but you mentioned that you were a huge bitch. And I'd
Yes.
like to read a comment from somebody, not about you, not
I
calling
was
you.
like, who
Yeah.
have you been talking to?
Yeah. Rockstar 101 wrote, Kelly Keeks is a huge bitch and has been forever.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anyways, this girl commented when we posted what the topics were going to be, and she wrote, please define and score different types of bitches. There's a dumb bitch. There's a bad bitch. There's a main bitch. There's a side bitch. There's a little bitch. There's a biatch. There's a betch. There's a basic bitch. There's all different kinds of bitches.
Yeah.
But I think we want to start off with straight up bitch. Just a mean girl.
I think that makes sense. And I also agree with this girl that there are so many different types of bitches. And I feel like you can call yourself a bitch if you embody any of them. Like, I feel like you were listening to that right now. I could be that type of bitch at any moment, I feel like I am it. And that is what makes me inherently a bitch, because I can be any of those bitches.
If a guy were to say to either of you, you're being such a bitch right now, how would you react?
I hate being called a bitch by a guy, but especially because I feel like guys, they're not like, oh, like you bad bitch. Like they're like, you're a fucking bitch. And that makes you want to slit their throat. But when a gay guy is like, hey bitch, it's like such a different vibe.
Yeah. Or your girlfriend. Like, what up, bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be in a very obviously joking way. If I'm being called a bitch in a mean way, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm a bitch? Like, you're fucking dead now. Like, now I'm gonna murder you. And then it's like, and then I want to kill them.
But what
like she
about
said.
when you're talking to a guy and you're like, oh, you're such an asshole. Oh, you're being a dick. I feel like that's not as offensive. And, this may be one-sided, but I feel like it's worse when the guy calls a girl a bitch.
It does kind of feel that way, but that's a really good point, because I guess I wouldn't be calling someone an asshole in a serious way if he didn't call me like a bitch first. Like, I don't think I'd be like, you're being an asshole. Like, in an actual way, I'd be like, oh, you're such an asshole. But if they were in the same way, if they're like, oh, you're such a bitch, I wouldn't be offended. But tone is so important, I think, with that.
Yeah.
And I feel like guys mean it to hurt you. Like if I was like, you're an asshole, but they're like, you're a bitch. They like want you to feel it. They want you to cry.
You get that B, like,
Yeah, it's like bitch
like,
and
you're
crazy.
a
You
bitch.
can't say those if you really mean it.
Yeah.
I've never been called a bitch by a guy, but
Really?
I've seen other guys call, other women bitches.
Maybe
Like,
they just never called it to your face.
yeah, probably. Like, oh, Rhea's such a bitch.
Yeah.
Rhea's such a
Probably.
fucking bitch.
Yeah, that's all right.
Probably.
All right. Kelly, why don't you tell us about your days of being a bitch? I feel like
Okay.
you were a mean girl at some point, and I don't want this to... Kelly's very nice. Kelly
am nice.
is actually
Well, so
one of the
that's
nicest
the
people
misconception.
you
Well,
will
she was.
meet.
You were
Thank
like
you.
bullied, so you turned into a mean girl.
Right.
Yes.
I was turned into a mean girl.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to fend for myself. And I will say this, I wasn't an outward bully. I went along with the bullies, and I was also like low-key in the back a little, like making fun as well. Like it was a group effort. I wasn't any kind of lead bitch until like maybe in my later years. But
I was going to say, that's very un-Kelly
yeah,
Keeks of
I
you,
was like,
following
not,
the pack.
at the time, it was kind of like I was pulling some strings from behind the scenes, I would say,
Okay.
more so than being the most front-facing bitch in the place. But no, I was bullied in like the 6th grade.
Yeah, talk about being bullied so people relate to you rather than hate you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
You'll be on my side by the end of this. I promise. I promise. And it actually, it fits in with A and B. I was bullied in the 6th grade. I've always been really thin. Like I'm just a skinny person. My whole family's skinny and tall. It's like a thing. We don't have thyroid problems. We just look really thin. And everybody
been to the doctor.
Everybody loves to be like, I think you have a thyroid problem. I'm like, bitch, I've been to the doctor. Like, what do you want? I'm just skinny. Like that's it. And so in the 6th grade, I was also really thin. That's when everybody started like getting boobs, getting an ass, getting whatever. I was still flat as a board in all aspects and super skinny. And these 2 fucking girls that were my friends, they were my good friends. And I thought they were like, we would hang out all the time. They were like kind of cool, but whatever, you know, we're 6th grade. Friendship is not that serious. But to me it was, because I'm a really like emotional person. And they came up to me and they were like, oh, what's up, Belani? And I was like, what? I was like, oh, and they were like laughing about it, and I was like, oh, what are you guys laughing about? Like, what's that mean? And they were like, and then the one girl who was a better friend to me was like, oh, you know, she wasn't. She was fucking calling it to my face, but she was like, oh, we like made up this nickname. It's like bulimic and anorexic mixed together, and so we're gonna call you Belani. And so I was like, oh. Okay.
Oh my God.
This is how this is gonna go. So then from that day forward, I was a fucking bitch. And then so now everyone in my sights after that was like, quote unquote fat, forget it. Like you were a target of mine. Like it doesn't, if you were mean to me, no. It was, if you were mean to me though, no, only if you were mean to me. And then I would point that out, especially guys. If ever a guy was mean or if a guy like made fun of or making fun of girls, whatever, I'd be like, well, you're a fat fuck.
To make fun of girls' bodies, so you could just be like, you're 100%. A fat fuck.
Yeah.
My favorite.
We
my
will
favorite thing
allow
is fat
you
fuck.
to call guys fat, but not girls.
I was calling girls fat as well. Well, I called them both fat. I was like, I'm sorry. Like in that moment, I had to decide. I was like, either I'm gonna cry and like tell the teacher, or I'm gonna like figure it out. And I was like, oh well, like at least I'm thin. Like you guys are kind of fat. And they both were like, whatever. Like you're such a bitch. And I was like, I'm being serious. Like that's in my head. I was like, I'm being serious. And now you've like switched a flipped a switch in my head, and I'm gonna be a fucking cunt forever. Like,
oh my God! And that's when you turned.
And that is when I turned. Yeah. And then 7th grade is when I started stuffing my bra. One incident.
I mean,
one
Kelly,
incident.
you could have, you said that everyone was going to be on your side after that.
I thought
you need a little more bullying.
I thought you got
us all be on your side after that.
I think that. Well, I mean, no. That was the last straw. Those are my best fucking friends. Everybody said I was anorexic and bulimic for my whole fucking life. Like that was just the whole thing.
Subtle
that was the last straw. It was like my best
friends
at the time making fun of me to my face, and I was like, you guys are, and not in like a my friends joke around kind of way. Like I can bust my friends' balls, but again, we're 6th grade. I'm obviously like 40 pounds. Like it's very clear that I am like very underweight, and it was just this whole drama. And I'll say this, I wasn't like an outward bully. Like you guys are painting me like I was a mean girl for sure. I was definitely mean.
Painting yourself as that.
But I wasn't.
You said anyone fat in my sight, I'm telling them they're fat.
If they were coming at me and it was valid at the time, that's what I said. Like it was just, that was my default thing. That was my lazy insult, was like, you're a fat fuck. Like, okay.
You know what this reminds me of? The baby Grinch. Like the baby Grinch when he reached his breaking point in school.
The Grinch and I
fucking
really
snapped,
relate.
and then he became the Grinch.
Yeah.
Because you were getting these little jabs constantly.
So, well, what happened then is like whatever, 7th grade rolls around, I start stuffing my bra. Then that's a whole nother thing people make fun of. A whole nother thing people make fun of. I still don't have boobs. Still don't have boobs. I'm stuffing my bra. I got real like MacGyver about it. Like I had like a very specific like way of.
Oh my god!
And it was a weird thing. I was like an OCD kid, and so it was all strange. But then people, like what actually did happen is the girls would start getting hips, start getting big boobs, and then the guys would be like, oh, like yeah, she has big tits, but like she's kind of fat, because like when you have huge boobs as a small child, you like look overweight a little bit, up top heavy. And I remember thinking at the time, like, like how the tables have turned. Like all these guys are saying, you guys look fat. Here I am over here, like skinny as fuck. And I kept that mentality for so long. So I wouldn't totally participate, but I would hear and kind of, if a girl came at me, like that was always my number one thing. Like if ever I was in a fight with a girl, because I know that bullying that I had made me insecure. It's the only thing that I could think of to like throw back to make them insecure. Because I was like, that's effective as fuck. Because I ruined my life back in the 6th grade.
You know what? I'm very conflicted about you.
I'm conflicted about my own self. I don't know what to think.
You're like a little scared.
Like, I don't know how to respond because I don't want everyone to think we hate fat people.
That's what I'm saying. That is not true. I don't feel that way now.
I was gonna say, I think that you are giving a good insight as to why people become bullies, why people become bitches. You know, bully another B word.
Fucking rude.
Why people become this way because they always say if somebody's picking on you, it's because they have something else going on in their life. They have their own insecurities. We talk about it with like online commenters who call us fat and ugly. It's like, well, you know, they got to take a look in the mirror. Once again, we're not calling everyone fat and ugly, but...
No, but that's just, those are like the kid insults. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I would think of that at the time. Right now, I think back about that. I'm like, wow, God, I sucked. Like, I would never act like that.
Well,
present day, I'm like an adult at this moment. But
can you give an apology?
No.
Right here?
Fuck
right
no.
now?
I will never. No. I don't apologize for shit. I don't think if somebody comes to me and is like, you ruined my life in the way that you're now describing that your life was ruined, of course I will apologize. But I also don't want an apology from those whores that call me Belani. They're both like living in the fucking trailer park now, so who gives a shit?
You know what? It was fucked up they called you that. So.
Yeah, it was fucked up at the time.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and then, like I said, I had the last laugh when I was still thin, you know, when we're 18.
Yeah.
And now...
And now they're, like I said, trailer park city. Whatever. I'm over it.
Bree, did you
I'm over it, clearly.
Kelly's not over it. And we're going to let her have a moment.
I'm not over it.
We're going to let you have a moment.
I try. You know what, though? But it keeps me like that. It's like I have
You're like sweating.
I have to. Am I like literally sweating? I feel like I am. I'm always sweating so much.
You know what? You haven't been going to therapy, and this is basically
I'm wearing a turtlock and a shirt. So it's like I'm sweating.
Right.
But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, it was a weird time. It was a weird thing. But yeah, I was definitely a little bit of a bully and like and friends with bullies and like seeing it all happen. But only now
seeing what goes on behind the scenes.
Right. Like I feel like I was almost like a plant inside like the bully's house. Like I wasn't so much that I was the person, but I know
you weren't the
how
Regina
the mind
George.
Works. No.
I
was like I was probably the Gretchen, I would say.
Okay, you wanted to be Regina.
I wanted to be Regina
but
George.
You also were a bully. Like Gretchen is mean because Regina George is mean.
Exactly.
Okay, makes sense.
That was
Bree, did you ever bully anybody?
No. The type of person I was in high school, so I was like popular, but it wasn't like the movies where like all the popular kids were mean. But I definitely did have friends that were like kind of cunts. But I was like that girl that was friends with like the other groups that people would like shit on. But in high school, there are a lot of incidents where I would like ruin people's lives because they tried to ruin my life though. Because like people would come at me because I was just friends with everyone. I played all the sports, whatever. So I'm a very nice girl. Like I'm very empathetic, love everyone. But if you cross me, it's like I will finish you without a tear on my cheek. I will ruin your life and not feel bad at all.
Yeah, we've learned this in the last episode where you talked about how you're ready to fight at all.
Oh, yeah. But I'm very good verbally attacking people as well.
Yeah.
It's fun. When they deserve it.
Yeah, when they deserve it, of course.
I feel like you were kind of the same way.
Kind of the same way, but maybe a little less. Like, I didn't have that many, I was pretty much friends with everyone, to be completely honest. Like, I know what you're saying. Like, my high school, too, it wasn't like popular kids versus like nerdy kids or anything like that.
Yeah,
I kind of felt like I was friendly with anybody, whoever wanted to be my friend, really.
Whoever was nice.
Yeah, whoever was nice, whatever. I think there's a difference between being bullied in a sense and, like, Kelly, you were bullied. Like, they were calling you names and making fun of the way you looked and
for
whatnot
for
a while.
For
and
many
like,
years.
With intention of, like, hurting you in that way, making fun of you. And then there's just girls being mean in high school. Like, I feel like girls, they get into fights with each other. They're a little catty, oh, you like this boy, I like that boy, that type of thing. And that's kind of where my drama stemmed from. I wouldn't say I was, like, a bitch to anybody besides when we would, like, girls would get into fights about, like, oh, I like him, you like him.
Yeah,
oh,
like
you're like
whatever.
Fucking my boyfriend now. Like, you know what I mean? That type of thing.
Of
course. There was one time, though, where I remember specifically this girl wrote a note about some guy, right? Like she liked a guy or whatever, and it was in the note. I think that's what it was. And the note had... like she was supposed to give it to her friend and had gotten lost in the hallway. So she started panicking and told everyone that the note was about me. But the note was never about me. Like when they found the note, there was nothing about me in it, but she had told everyone it was about me because she didn't want to say who it was actually about. Like I was like the default. And so I remember we were at lunch and we sat at the same lunch table, and I was like, I felt so cool. I was like, keep my fucking name out of your fucking mouth. And everyone was like, yeah. And then I got home, and like my parents were like high-fiving me. I told them a story. And I think about this later on in life. I'm like, what a loser. Like you couldn't think of anything better to say. Like that.
No, but whatever.
So loserish. But there's nothing really that, I told this story to you guys where it's like such like an Emily Ratajkowski thing. Remember when Emily Ratajkowski was like, "Oh, they said I was too pretty to be in movies." You know, when I was a cheerleader and I was on the cheerleading team, we had a pasta party, like one of those parties before a competition, and it was my freshman year. And some girls had found, I used to do like child modeling and acting, which I've talked about on Chicks in the Office if you listen to that as well. And these girls had found old videos of me on like a fashion show on TV, which is, you know, pretty cool. Yeah. But they were all making fun of it. So it sounds like I'm like, oh, they were making fun of me, but it was like a cool thing. So in hindsight, I'm like, okay, once again, like you weren't bullied. Like the girls were just like,
they were just
mean.
They were just jealous.
But at the time, I was like, oh my God, these girls are like bullying me. Like, bitch, like that's not like, what are you crying about? That's nothing. Like they were just, you know.
There was this fucking bitch in my high school. This is like gonna blow everyone's mind. This shit was crazy. So there was this girl that just moved to my town, and she like wanted to be friends with all the guys really badly, like my friend group's guy friends. And obviously when a new girl comes in, like everyone's like, who the fuck is this bitch? And then like all the guys are like, I want to fuck her.
Right.
So none of the girls like befriended her, and me and a couple of my friends felt bad because she was like sitting alone all the time and she kind of like looked weird. So we were like, okay, like you want to be our friend, whatever. We invited her over, and then she started this fake Facebook account with nudes of everyone, like every girl in my town. I was on the list. It was like fake nudes that you find on Google. Mm-hmm. So she would,
oh my God.
She made a fake Facebook like username, and would DM all the boys in my high school saying like, do you want Brianna's nudes? Do you want who and so's like nudes? And obviously everyone's like, yeah, they're like high school boys. They just like want to start. They already had a group chat about everyone's nudes. So she starts like selling them for $5.
What?
Nudes. Yeah. We didn't know fake nudes. We didn't know this was her until we
respect the hustle.
Crazy.
Yeah, damn.
We didn't know this was this girl until like years after high school. We thought it was this dude. Okay, so anyways, that happened. Starts selling all the nudes. All of a sudden, mine gets sold. So she comes up to me in science class. She's like, Brianna, your nudes are leaked. I'm like, I had never even like had sex with the boy. I've never seen a penis before. I'm like, what do you mean? I've never taken nudes before. So it looks like I'm like, oh my God, they're real. And I start like freaking out crying because that's like so scary to me. Yeah. And then I was like, who the fuck has them? Like, I need to see these nudes. I need to like prove that they're not me somehow. So I finally get a hold of the nudes because they're in the nudes group chat. And the stomach's there. I have a mole on my stomach. The mole is not like on the stomach in the picture. And I'm like, this is my way out. And everyone's talking about it because it was like, Brianna's nudes are leaked. And it's like full pussy pic too. Full pussy pic.
Like Hope Solo.
What grade is this also?
Hope Solo.
What grade is this?
10th grade.
Oh my God. Full vagina.
Yes. And I was like, oh my God, never. That's tough.
Oh, well, we'll talk about
nudes,
the nudes episode.
Nudes are rough.
Nudes.
Yeah.
I was sending some disgusting nudes.
Yeah, same. But it's like
pussy pics are crazy.
Yeah,
so I like had to stand up in front of everyone at lunch and like be like, look at this mole, look at this picture. And then they were all like, oh, it's not you. And then we figured out all the nudes were fake from this bitch.
Oh my God. That is a bitch.
That's an evil bitch.
That's a psycho bitch.
Psycho bitch, yes.
Yeah, I have a psycho bitch story too. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah.
It was one of my old friends. This is another thing too. I'm always like, I find myself in these situations where I don't think I trust easily, but I seem to trust like sketchy people sometimes, or people who aren't like genuinely my friends sometimes. And so this person was my friend. Yeah. It's weird, right? Like I feel like I am a good judge of character most of the time. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I'm just like attracted to these like psychopaths, but
sometimes you like people that I'm like, Kelly.
Yeah, why? Yeah, you do that all the time. Because I feel like I see good in most people. Yeah. And like I like when I can joke around with them and I'm fun with them. Like I was like that in high school too, where I had like friends all over the place, but not like best friends anywhere except for like my like crew.
Yeah.
So one of these girls was like one of my best friends, like really in my crew, up at like well into adulthood. This only happened like a couple years ago, and I had been hooking up with a guy in college that I was like obsessed with for no fucking reason. Like he was an asshole. He's still a dick. Like we hate him. But I was still obsessed with him. Like when I moved to New York, he also ended up moving here. This girl was like one of my best friends, had visited me at college. Like that's how close we were. So she had met him also. They randomly met on like a dating app or something. She didn't tell me. She matched with him. He fucking matched with her too. It's like crazy how they even like got together, knowing that it would like ruin my life because I was so emotional. You guys know me. I'm just like that kind of shit.
Yes.
It'll ruin my life. And so like just
you were going around calling people fat all the time.
literally like
Yeah.
I will ruminate and sit in my head and like that anger will build and it will come out at some point. And so it's like
Kelly is ruined at this
right,
moment.
it's the worst. So she was like talking to him and ended up hooking up with him and was doing so behind my back. I was also like hooking up with him, by the way. Behind my back for like 9 months or something.
And this is like a friend?
Best friend.
Best friend.
Oh,
like literally my
shit.
best friend. Hooking up with him for like 8 or 9 months. Maybe not that long. But so I found out, I'm just trying to like
get
make
the
it worse.
story
I
straight,
know.
you
I'm
fucking
sorry.
liar.
I'm sorry. It's a personal story. It's hard. I'm trying to not use names like so hard.
it is hard to tell personal stories.
Yeah. So I like one day he told me, he came up to me at like an engagement party we had for like a mutual friend and was like, listen, I'm sorry about like, you know, fucking around with your friend. That was fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. Like I really started thinking about it and it was fucked up. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then I ended up finding out from her and whatever. But what I realized is that a few months prior on, I think it was New Year's Eve, we were all getting ready to go to like a one of those ticket things where you pay like $100 and it's open bar for 4 hours or whatever at Trippiani's 42nd Street. And
To be specific.
yeah, to be specific, she is texting this new guy she's talking to. Doesn't show me a picture, doesn't tell me anything about it, just like tells me, oh, I'm texting this new guy. Look at what he's saying. And so I was like, oh, interesting. And I was like, oh, this guy texts like just exactly like the guy that I know. I was like, wow, they text just the same. Like their mannerisms are the same. The words they use are the same. That's weird. And then she was like, yeah, I don't really know. Like, just what do you think I should say? And had me like text for her. It was him. She had changed his name in her phone to something else to give to me to like text as me because he liked me for so long.
Crazy.
And then she like has nothing in common with him. She was only fucking him because it was like a slight at me because she like, or I don't know. I don't even know. That's the only thing I can decide. I'm like, what the fuck move is that?
Psycho
So I'm
bitch.
sitting here being
crazy,
like,
yeah.
wow, girl, like I'm sexting on her behalf. I'm being like, whatever, like for her. I'm trying to get my best friend laid, not with the guy that I was in love with. And that's what happened there. That's a fucking bitch.
That's
How
a
did
psycho.
what was
That's
the
psycho bitch.
That's a
outfall
bitch.
of that? Like, did you?
Oh, it was a bad. I cut her out. It was probably the meanest thing I have done personally. She obviously is like, she's my best
I
friend.
don't know about that.
No, it was. I called her up and I was like, fucking explain it. And she wasn't remorseful at all. Like she wasn't sorry. She like was half sorry. And she was mad that I was so mad.
So
and
this
I
is
was like,
sociopath. Bitch.
yeah. And I was like, I am so mad because this is so fucking hurtful. Like, what the fuck? And then I was like, you're a cunt. I never want to hear from you again. Like, do not contact me ever again. And then it was literally like a 15-year friendship ended in one phone call. And I haven't talked to her since.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully she's listening right now. And
I would
hears how
love
much
if
you
she
I
hate
bet
her.
she is.
I would
I bet
love
she
it.
is.
I
I
think
bet she
about
has
her sometimes.
tabs on your life.
I think about her. I hope that she does. I think about her sometimes, and but other times I'm like, wow, what a fucking lunatic. Like it was crazy behavior, and it makes me not trust people.
That's
Like,
quite
it's-
disgusting, actually.
It was wild.
That
yeah.
makes me not trust. That
You
didn't
really
even
can't
happen to
trust
me.
anyone.
Oh no,
You
you
can't.
can't.
You
You
can't.
can't.
It's fucking crazy.
I always go back and forth because I'm like you, Kelly. I don't trust anybody, but also trust everybody.
Yeah.
like I'm
We
like
give the benefit of the doubt.
I
Always.
try to become friends with everybody, and then I'm like, then I'm a few months in, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
You
like I don't
know?
have
I
all
don't know
this.
if I
right.
still want to be friends with this.
Like now I'm
person.
spread a
kidding,
little.
but-
I'm spread a little thin. Like
yeah,
do I-
like, I don't need this many. I already have 3. I don't
Yeah.
need any more friends.
Exactly.
So I can't remember ever doing anything specifically like mean to somebody. I'm trying to think of a good story of where like either, you know, I just never went out of my way to be mean to anybody because I don't think
Yeah.
anybody was like that mean to me, you know? Like my family, if you were to ask my family, they'd be like, oh, girls were so mean to you. And I'm like, yeah, though, it's high school, you know? Like,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course girls were mean. I do remember when I was in, see now this people are like, all right, we don't care about you being in 1st or 3rd grade, Rhea, but
I care. I like
one of
these
the
stories.
mean things I can remember I did, which I guess is saying a lot about me as a person because it's not that mean and I was way younger. There was this Snapple bottle at recess. It was glass. And
Oh, no.
me and my friends
Shank a bitch?
were telling this kid to kick the Snapple bottle around. We were like, kick the Snapple. I have no idea. I was like, kick the Snapple bottle. For some reason.
seeing if he'll, like, listen
he
to you.
kicked the Snapple bottle. It broke. And he was like, well, they told me to kick it. And so the teacher was like, all right, when recess ends, you're coming into class and we're going to talk to each one of you. And I was such a coward that I went to the nurse and faked sick and went home just because I did not want to deal with the consequence of like this kid kicking a Snapple. I look back on these little things, and this goes back to the anxiety. Like, these things give me major anxiety. And like I think back and I'm like, I made that kid kick the Snapple bottle. Like that.
Yeah, like that eats guilt. Me alive. That's guilt manifesting and just like
that's
making
why
you
I
now.
just try to be extra nice.
Yeah.
Because it eats me alive.
I have a quick similar kind of exact story of that. Like my one bully moment that I still think about to this day, and I tried to find the girl to DM her and apologize. It was kindergarten, and it was meatball sub day, and I fucking love meatball subs. Okay, and this girl, the little boy that I like loved in my kindergarten class was like being best friends with her. Like not love, like I wanted to kiss him, like he was my best friend. And I was like, this is fucked up. I need to show my I was like, let's fuck. But I wanted to like show my dominance
in the playpen.
Yeah. And I was like, you got a meatball sub too? Give me the meatballs. This is like, I'm cringing because I still feel so bad about it. I think about it all the time. She gave me her fucking meatballs.
I'm getting teary-eyed.
I'm gonna cry thinking about it. I ate her meatball sub, and then she moved to Milwaukee.
You fucking bitch, Brie.
And I don't know her last name, and I can't find her. And I hope I'm putting this into the universe. I am so sorry for taking your meatballs, Nicole. Like that is directly towards you. I am so fucking sorry.
Wherever you are.
Yeah. Nicole, DM Brie, give her your address, and we're gonna send you some meatballs because you deserve it. Because you know what, Brie, that's fucked up.
It's fucked up.
I need Nicole.
You wanted to fuck that kid so bad in kindergarten that you stole this girl's meatballs.
I felt so fucking bad.
I need her to come out of the woodwork because I need to know how Nicole's life is now. Like, did Nicole have a moment where she got bullied by you, and now she's like me?
She still invited me to her birthday party. She was so nice. Like she kept inviting me to her birthday parties, and then I was like, why was I so mean? And I still bullied her from there on, and then she moved to Milwaukee. And then I grew up.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Well, you know what?
Maybe
we're going to give you a pass on that.
I hope she.
At least you didn't like kick her to the ground and spit on her.
Yeah,
like, I didn't know where that story was going. But with you, I don't know. You could have punched her in the face in kindergarten.
No, it didn't start that.
And we would have accepted it because we accept you in all ways. But
I need Nicole's present day story so bad.
Nicole, come on the podcast,
please. If anyone that I know from I'm younger knows where Nicole is, please DM us.
Nicole, I will personally make you my meatballs to make up for Brie.
You have great meatballs.
Yeah, I do have great meatballs.
Yeah.
Now we're on the topic of food, so I think it's the right time to transition into blunts, which is my favorite topic out of the bunch. And it's something that, I went to bed thinking about this episode because I was like, obviously we need to prepare. What do we want to bring up? We're talking about bitches, blunts, boobs. And I think it was time for me to come clean with a straight up addiction I had for like quite a while right before quarantine hit.
Oh, shit.
Before. And I think, I was like, maybe I know. Was like, and it came to a point where I had to like realize it. I was straight up addicted to backwoods blunts.
Yes.
And Noah, I think he's nodding his head. Like I would smoke at least 3 backwoods a day. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 1 at night.
It was a lot of backwoods.
It was a lot of backwoods, and it was becoming disgusting. Because you can smoke in all different forms. You can have a joint. You can smoke a bowl, a bong, whichever way you prefer, a pen, whatever it may be. I had to have backwoods. I would make people in the office, like if I couldn't get to the store in time I'd be like, hey, can I give you money to go buy me a pack of backwoods? Like sleazy shit. Like it's almost
she was addicted.
Like straight up addicted. And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, first of all, I probably smelt like a walking backwood, which is gross. Like that's gross.
My biggest fear.
And also, how was I functioning? Like because when quarantine hit, I stopped smoking blunts for a little bit because I was like, whoa, like. I smoked a blunt at home, and I was like, whoa, I feel kind of really fucking high. Like, this is not really how I was feeling when I was smoking it multiple times a day, but, like, I'm not, maybe because we were stuck inside and I wasn't, like, going about my day, because with a blunt, I feel like it gives me that extra little oomph, because it has the, it depends on what you smoke, but the tobacco leaf, it gives you, if you were to have a spliff, when you mix the tobacco with weed, it gives you a little oomph, I feel like.
Yeah,
so I feel like it would give me a little buzz, and I'd be like buzzing in my apartment. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I quit them for a while, and now I'm back on them, but not as much as I was. But looking back, I was like, that's pretty disgusting, but also respect at the same time, because I was hearing people in the office like say to Hank, like, Rhea, like, we thought we could smoke, but Rhea, like, really, she's putting them down. Like, she's
the backwoods. Your backwoods phase is probably my least favorite, I would say. I don't like backwoods.
No, you don't.
Blunts.
And
I also
you
don't really
fainted one time.
That's what I was just gonna say. I was like, was that a time we had backwoods?
And Noah did too. Well, we won't talk about it.
Yeah,
he's mad. I just said that.
It's
but
all right. We can cut it out.
Like,
you can if you want, but I mean,
there was a time. There have been multiple times where I have smoked backwoods with people, and like, you almost fainted. Noah actually did like black out and faint, and then I was so worried because I was like, oh my god, like Noah's like gonna get in trouble and it's my fault and I don't know like what I did, and it's something not the weak can handle. I'm sorry, you guys are kind of weak.
But it's strange because I'm a tobacco person. Like, you would think that out of the backwoods, like, what is it that's different from everything else?
There's
it would be the
something about a
tobacco.
backwood.
But that's what I'm
really
saying.
is
Like,
something.
I can smoke cigarettes. I like smoke a Juul. Like, I'm not turned off or inhibited by tobacco in any way. But all of a sudden, you roll up with this backwoods. Maybe I think the weed too was wild from Stu Feiner, maybe, or something, like whatever it was at the time. I just passed out. But I'm not a blunts person. I think the act of like having to take apart the cigar and like do all that shit, like, that's too much for me.
That's my favorite part. That's why I
love
had no issue.
You like that?
Because when I learned how to roll a perfect backwood blunt, like that, it then became something I wanted to brag about almost.
Yeah,
like,
it was part of the experience.
Yeah, it's probably like, we're gonna smoke. Oh, I'm rolling. Like, like it became known.
It's like, I can roll a
between
pearl.
me and Hank. Yeah, like I would roll the blunts. Like, in this office, I would roll the blunts. And so I was like, became a kind of like a thing. I was like, I roll blunts now. Like, I'm the blunt roller. I'm Blunt Dottie.
You're
like, I am literally blunt. That's how I came up with Blunt Dottie.
Yeah.
And I won't do it now, but that is my famous song, Blunt Dottie. It's pretty good if you want to go check it out. But it is my favorite way to smoke still, even though I took a break and now I'm back on them in not as unhealthy of a way that I was, because I wouldn't be able to function now. I don't know how I was functioning. Like, I talk about it with Robbie Fox all the time, somebody who works here, and we both have said to each other, how did we do that? Because we would have like midday smoke breaks. Me and Robbie Fox would go like, smoke
and
a quick blunt. And
there is
like,
a difference.
Not like, it's like not,
I don't know
whatever.
I don't know what
still
it is,
my
the difference.
favorite way, by far my favorite way to smoke. I think, something about a blunt just hits extra hard, and I wish you guys appreciated it as much as I did.
I have a confession. The last time I smoked a blunt, there was PCP in it, and now I will never smoke a blunt again. This was 2 years ago. I went blind and deaf for like 15 minutes.
Oh my God.
And I was like in the bathroom with my friend. I'm like, okay, 5 more minutes and we're gonna have to call the ambulance, because I thought I like lost my sight for the rest of my life. Like, my eyes, I wasn't even fucked up, wasn't drunk, took like 2 hits of this, and then the kid comes back and this is so fucked up, this motherfucker.
Like,
This is crazy.
Yeah, he was letting everyone hit it, and then after everyone hit it, he was like, "How are you guys feeling?" Like, there was a little something in it. And I was like, "What? Like, what the fuck was in it?" I thought like maybe like he rolled it in like codeine or something, and I was like, maybe that's okay. But if I'm like straight up fucking about to die, and he's like, "There's PCP in it," and he was like bragging about it, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I like my hearing was going out, and I was like, what the fuck? Because I wasn't drunk. I had just gotten to the party. I'm like, let me start off with this, because I was like, all I did was smoke blunts. And then I smoked it. My hearing starts going out. I'm like to my friend, can we go to the bathroom? Vision completely gone. I'm like sitting on the toilet 15 minutes. I was like, we need to call the ambulance. And then it came back, and then haven't spoken to that piece of shit again. And
I mean, that's
scared to
wild
smoke a blunt.
behavior.
You
That's
will smoke
crazy.
a blunt with me, though.
I will.
And
I
won't
will.
drug you.
Thank you.
Maybe a little bit.
That's
maybe a
fine.
little
If you
something.
drug
I'll
me,
say
that's
this.
fine.
If he had just asked, I think
Yeah.
I would have been like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, but it's
You
the
want
sexy
PCP blunt? Sure.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh wow, crazy.
Yeah.
Sure. But
Let's do
if I am suddenly like, I think I'm gonna get a little high,
And then you're
there's
bamboozled?
PCP, I'm
Yeah.
having a heart attack. Like,
Yeah.
there's no.
Yeah.
I didn't mentally prepare
fucked
for this.
up.
I don't even know what it's supposed to feel like. I didn't tell my friends I
Yeah.
was doing it. Like, I need to have a
I
little
had
bit of
no
backup
clue,
before you
like
drug
the
me.
feeling. If he like explained it to me and he's like,
Yeah.
you might feel this, I was like, all right, then I would do it. But like to be bombarded of like, I just got drugged. This is fucking crazy.
Because especially with the paranoia that comes sometimes
Yes.
from smoking weed, all of a sudden the
PCP.
paranoia kicks in once you find out that it's PCP.
And then it's just like 10 times worse. So that was like the last time I smoked a blunt. Now I just edibles and joints.
Okay, we'll smoke a blunt because it's going to be inevitable if you keep hanging
It's gonna
around
be
me.
inevitable,
Like
yeah.
that's just it's
gonna
just going to
happen.
have to happen. But I do wish Kelly Keegs was on it a little bit more because
I
whenever
know.
I
I
actually
like joints a
that's
lot.
also part of the reason I would bring blunts out with me. And I'd whip out a blunt, and everyone would be like, "You have a joint?" And I'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like nobody
Yeah,
wants
like,
to
no.
smoke the blunt, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
no,
nobody wants a piece of this.
I'm always preferring the joint for some reason. I think too about blunts. Sometimes it's like too wet. Like I feel like
Yeah.
they're, you know what I mean? Like that just
Gross,
always
kind
happens.
of
Like it doesn't
gross,
matter
yeah.
who it is. Like because it's like a cigar. It gets wet like a cigar does, and it just like bothers me. I don't know something about it. But I'm never one to like turn it down.
No.
I'm just not trying to smoke a whole blunt by myself. Can I tell you girls something that I found while I was trying to search up like interesting facts about blunts?
Yes.
There are very few, as as you're about to learn. But when I typed into Google, I typed blunt facts, and I think I just
Blunt
wrote like
facts.
blunt facts weed or something. And what came up was this headline: cannabis use blunts stress reactivity in female rats. And I was like, okay, that's not exactly what I'm looking for.
kinda
but
sick,
what's
though.
this story?
yeah, I mean, I want to know.
I'm
So,
intrigued.
yeah, so I started reading
scared,
about it.
but I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I started reading about it. Apparently, this is a study at the Washington State University. It's the WSU Insider. That's my source. They are apparently doing some sort of 30-day window tests between male and female rats, where they are like, they like blow smoke into holes for these rats, like one for male and one for female. The males apparently like don't need it as often. The females do because they like the feeling of like the no stress, and they are more stressed more often. And they learn to like go up to the hole and like get a puff. Like so they like go up to the holes
crazy.
and like puff on this weed, and the female rats are doing it way more than the males.
We
That's
are
the
the
thing.
female rats.
I am
It
Rhea
says,
Rat.
interestingly, we found that the rats were given access to higher potency cannabis, tended to respond less, and had lower concentrations of THC in their blood, blah, blah, blah. What's causing this difference as well is why females seem to be more receptive to the stress-muting effects of cannabis are both things we plan to investigate in the future. So it might have something to do, they're saying it has something to do with like humans as well, but you know, rats, whatever.
Yeah, so
we'll
maybe
see.
that's why I
Crazy, though.
I love a good.
Yeah, so girls, I say
blunt.
we might be helping girls more than guys.
Yeah, you
So.
know what I love when I talk about my love for blunts, and I'll get people being like, "Yo, Rhea, I just want to smoke a blunt with you," and I'm like, you know what, one day, because it has happened at pop punk
fun.
that the fake pop punk band that Barstool does
Yeah.
at one of the shows. I was standing next to two girls who were fans, and I was like, they were like, "Oh my god, we've like always wanted to smoke with you," and I was like, "Well, I got a blunt in my bag, ladies. Let's go outside." And they were like,
do it.
"This is the best thing ever," and it made me feel great because I was like, "This is also the best thing ever for me." Like
Yes,
in
this is
return,
amazing.
this is awesome.
Of course.
But
Love that feeling.
now I can't wait to go home and smoke a blunt because I did
I'm
buy.
kind of craving a
Yeah,
blunt
now all of a sudden I want
Yeah.
one. That's the conversation.
No, after this, you want to smoke one?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
No,
I
okay.
gotta-
Well,
after, yeah.
after the recording, we're smoking.
After the recording.
I'm
We
gonna
already
roll a blunt
smoked
on my
before,
desk.
and
then,
yes.
well,
Yeah.
not at my desk. Wink, wink. And then we're gonna. No, we smoked a joint before.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But we didn't smoke a
And
blunt.
listen, we smoked a joint earlier, and the
too
three of us
early.
No, we were
were
too
really
high.
fucking high, and we couldn't record. Like,
Yeah,
it
we were like, you know what?
We were like,
let's plan some things out
Like-
first. To be fair, we hadn't seen each other yet. Usually we like get here, we talk a little bit about what we're like even going to bring up, and then we come in here and just like riff off each other. But we didn't even get to like, we all
Didn't
came in
even
at the same
talk
time.
yet.
We were like immediate, let's go smoke this joint, let's come back and let's record. And we didn't even know what we were doing.
We didn't know what we were doing, and I know that
Should have
everyone would be
met
like,
first.
"Oh no, you guys, like, you should have been super high. It would have been so funny. It's like, I couldn't speak, and I couldn't figure out my left from right. So it was actually better that
it's not high.
It's worn off a little bit. We're still feeling good, but it's worn off. But we're definitely going to smoke a blunt after this.
Absolutely.
Because we got to talk about the most important topic of the day first. And everybody sent in submissions about this topic. And I know Kelly wants to talk about it because she was a bra stuffer. Let's talk about
boobs.
Let's talk about boobs. Good old titties.
Good
boobs.
old titty tats.
B. Last week was ass. We got to cover boobs this week. And there's much to be dissected.
By the way, I can handle a blunt. I would just like that out there.
Oh no.
We'll throw that in.
Oh no, I'll get that in.
By the way, I can handle a blunt.
Oh yeah. No, you were. There were a lot. Okay,
there were
I'll add that
factors
in.
into it.
Okay, wait. All right, before we move on to boobs, I'd also like to add that Noah can 100% handle a blunt. The way I told that story made it seem like Noah can't handle
One
blunts.
hit fainted.
Noah didn't eat that day. He drank, and then we smoked a blunt, and that is how he fainted. We did have a big blunt fest when Buddha Ben, who used to work here, he was a big blunt guy, and we had, just when he left, we just smoked a million blunts at the office, and that was probably one of my favorite days here. Like, just smoking a million blunts. God, I fucking love a blunt. But anyways, moving on to boobs.
So moving on to boobs. Yeah, a lot of people talking about boobs. Well, once we moved into open mic, we'll talk more about what the people have said. I wanted to ask you ladies, have you always been confident in your boobs? Have you felt good about your boobs?
I used to want a boob job so badly, but that just recently changed.
You don't want one anymore.
I don't want one anymore because I used to think like only big boobs look good on bodies, and then I started like looking at petite girls and like tall skinny girl, like it looks better with like flat boobs look good on some people. So
Yes,
I was
they
like,
do.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
Don't want it to come across as if like we're shaming anybody who gets a boob job, because I feel like if you want a boob job, get one.
Oh no,
I
still might.
It's maybe in the cards for me as well. We'll think about it.
Personally always think the person looks better before the boob job. Not that they look bad with the boob job, but like I don't mind small titties. I think that they're cute, and I think cute is not the word to use. But
No,
I think
I like when they're called cute.
They're
I think
flattering.
Like cute little small titties.
I have
Flattering's a good
never
word.
Yeah.
wanted a boob job. I have always been comfortable with my boobs, even though they're not the biggest. They're also not the smallest, so it was always like
you have good boobs.
they're like decent size, so it wasn't really an issue for me. Although when I was younger and I noticed my best friend started getting boobs, we were at the beach and we were in bathing suits, obviously, and I remember this day specifically noticing that she had a little bump. She had some bumps on her chest,
Yeah.
Never noticed it before, and all of a sudden she had some bumps on her chest, and I did not. And I was quite jealous. And I was like, she's getting boobs.
The
and
bikinis will do it.
Yeah, and
They
I was like,
really
I'm
do.
not. No, it wasn't. It was like a one piece. Like, that's how young we were, So a one piece, you can see that even more.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God. In my head, I was like getting kind of jealous. I was like, oh, she's like developing, and I'm not.
That's how it is.
I was waiting
I've
for
never,
so long,
Forever. Like I said, still fucking waiting.
Still
waiting.
fucking
Age 30.
waiting.
It is.
You stuffed your bra because
I
you
stuffed
were
my bra.
so
Yeah, I can
uncomfortable.
unpack that for you guys.
Please do.
It's a weird thing. It's also something that I can't believe. Like if I were to be able to
before you
tell,
unpack this, I'd like to mention quickly jumping back to the bitches part.
Oh yeah,
because we've talked about this before. And we've talked about it because on TV, you see a lot of reality TV stars being like, oh my God, I was so bullied. Like I was the loser in high school. And I feel like we may have come across not relatable in a sense, but also relatable because not everybody was like, went through that. Some people just had a normal high school career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is
Some
true.
people were just, cool, had friends,
It wasn't
regular,
always drama.
like
It
there wasn't always
100%
like,
drama,
but you know what I mean? So I don't want to come across like, yeah, we were fucking cool, but also at the same time, like, yeah, I had friends and I was living. I had a great time.
Yeah.
I low-key hate that stigma where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you had friends in high school, like you were like not bullied and you weren't a loser.
Yeah.
Like, no, I wasn't. Like, why are you mad at that?
Right. Like people
Yeah,
get
like, I'm sorry.
people get
Yeah.
mad when you like didn't have a bad time
We've
in high
just
school.
been
And I was like, I've
social
had a
people our
really
whole lives.
good time in high school,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, I loved high school. I was a big fan of high school. I had like good friends.
I hate that
had
I
friends all over
still
the
love,
place.
like I still miss, like I loved high school.
Yeah, I loved high school.
peaked in high school.
Same, and I feel like such a loser when I say it.
Yeah.
But I also didn't go to college, so I feel like
True.
Oh
it
yeah,
makes
well that's
sense for
different.
me.
It's like your most recent school experience,
it is.
really. So
Yeah.
yeah, middle school was trash though, and that's when I started stuffing my bra, my boobs. everybody was getting boobs. Like starting in the 5th fucking grade, people were getting boobs.
Yes.
And I was like, this is too much. I remember this one girl, her name is Tabitha. I won't say her last name, but she had the biggest boobs in the 5th grade. Like bigger than, I would say like C's in the 5th fucking grade.
Yep, there were girls like that, and they were the first ones to get the hand jobs. They were first ones to get the blow jobs.
But you feel bad because then when those girls get older and you become friends with them, finally, when you just stop hating them because their boobs are so big, you realize that they also had like the worst fucking time because they were the ones who like got their period so soon, and then also like all the guys would just objectify them forever, like so early. So I feel bad for them, but at the time, holy shit, I hated that girl. I was like, fuck you for those boobs. Like, you look so good all the time. You look so cute. Why don't I have them? My mom has huge boobs. She like always has. My whole family pretty much has like pretty big boobs, except for like maybe a couple aunts, but like just not for me. Like my Nana, even on my dad's side, like I think about it, not at all. And so I was so self-conscious about it. All my friends started getting boobs, and also too like having conversations. I was so uncomfortable in my own skin. I wouldn't even talk to my mom about it. Like I just would be like, Mom, can I have a bra? And like I was so like trying to be independent and so embarrassed that I just would never. And so like I remember getting a bunch of bras, and I had this very specific way of stuffing my bra. I had like these like socks, but you would put one inside the other and like flip it around, and then I would put it inside. You know how some bras come with like inserts? I had like a regular cotton bra that had the inserts, but the inserts like weren't enough for me. So I like pulled them out. I cut up the bra to make like just these triangles, and I stuck in like whatever it was, that the like socks or whatever in there to make it like doubled up, like more realistic. And then I would put them in my bra as if they were chicken cutlets. Like I could have just bought chicken cutlets. Like, I don't know why I didn't do that
at that time.
I don't know if they did.
I
really don't know if they did either, or at least they weren't like prevalent enough that I would have gotten them. And this was I want to say 2003, 4, 5, like back in the 70s. Literally though, like that was the time, and it just was such a weird thing. And so for years, like nobody said shit to me though about it. Like I don't know if I got away with it or not. Like
you must have.
I can't.
I feel like
I
wore bras.
They probably talk shit behind your back.
I'm
and
sure,
stuffing her bra.
But seriously though, like other girls would make fun of other girls like stuffing their bra. No one said shit to me though, and so I can't ever remember. I'm like, did they feel that bad that they were like, "Are we bullied her enough in 6th grade? Like let her stuff her bra?" Well, like I have no idea, like how I got away with it.
They know now. They know now that
they
you stuff your bra.
They know now because I now like have some titties, and I'm like, whatever.
No, but you would have big boot. You know what I mean? Like you'd be walking around with the same size that you were walking around with.
They weren't unrealistic. I will say that they were extremely proportionate, and I only exclusively wore the Aeropostale like cotton T-shirts that you'd buy like 2 for $20, and they were like a little thicker than normal. I had one specific. It was like lime green. It said Waikiki Beach Club on it, and it just the way that the lettering went, it was like a perfect disguise for my boobs. They looked so legit. And one day I just literally came to school with boobs. No one questioned it.
You had like a very stereotypical way of growing up. Like you really experienced it all. You did the thong out. You stuffed your bra. I went through a phase where, you know, I of course wanted my boobs to look big and had like a one specific bra that I was like, this is the bra that, you know, it's a push-up bra. It makes my boobs look great. I couldn't give a fuck how my boobs look now. I truthfully love not wearing a bra. Most of the days, like today I'm wearing a bra because I'm wearing a tank top and a low-cut shirt, and it's white, and if I walked around the office like that would be inappropriate. But days where I'm wearing a sweatshirt or like a t-shirt or something, like I'm not wearing a bra. And if I'm going out now, I'm not wearing a bra. Like I do not wear bras anymore when I go out. It's not a thing. I think nipples are an accessory.
I was going to say nipples are in right now.
Nipples they have been for a while, and I truthfully think they're an accessory. I think they make you look hotter. They make the outfit look hotter.
Yes.
Like they're like a pair of earrings. Like when they're popping, they look really good. And it looks better than a push-up bra.
Yes.
You know, pushing your boobs out. When you just let your titties fly with no bra, they look great.
Yeah.
Learning to feel confident enough, again, took me till I was 30 years old to go out now with no bra on. Like I very rarely wear a bra at this point because I don't ever need to. My boobs are really small.
I don't need to
I never need to. But sometimes it's like, oh, fun. But specifically going out now.
It's appropriate. You got to cover your nipples in the workplace.
But so yes, thank you for reminding me the real reason I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But the going out thing, it's like now I don't give a fuck. Like I almost look for outfits that I don't have to wear a bra because I'm like, this this is so much better. And I do not care about my nipples. I almost like jump into photos on purpose, being like, I got my nipples out tonight. Let's take some photos.
It was really this past summer and the summer before this actually where I really started embracing the no bra thing, where I really was like, Hank, I'm going out like this. My nipples are poking you in the face.
I have my nipples pierced,
and
so it's
that's
very
awesome.
Oh, do you? That is awesome.
But that's why I have to wear a bra today, because my nipples.
What's it feel like?
I got my nipples pierced when I was 16 in Australia. I left my school trip and ditched it and ran across the city and got my nipples pierced underage. It's wrong when I think about it, because it was by a man.
Yeah,
but I lied
weird.
about my age, and you only had to take a picture of your ID to do it, and he wasn't like checking it, wasn't looking through. So I took a picture, then wrote down my fake age on the paper, and then went and got them done. And we had to go surfing the next day on the school trip. Oh my God, it hurt so bad.
Oh my God,
and
ouch.
But then I remember like the next day, like I wore like a white shirt with like a little bralette so you could like kind of see them. And I was like, I just got my nipples pierced in Australia. But this summer, one fell out and then it closed in literally 3 hours after like 4 years.
So now you only have one.
I have one.
What did it feel? What did it feel like when you got it? I honestly want one. I feel like I'm too old now, but I want one kind of bad.
It honestly, I had my septum pierced for a long time. That hurt 10 times more than my nipples pierced.
Interesting.
The fear of getting my nipple piercing stuck on something is enough for me to not get my nipple pierced.
Multiple times drop towel after the shower.
Yeah. Then you get a saggy boob.
And then you fall with it. It's like really bad.
Your nipple takes you down.
I'm like holding my own boob.
Yeah, that hurts.
But
I don't like the sound of
you
that.
figure it out and you work your way around it.
Yeah, that
for sure.
I'm not interested in that, but I wish I could be, because I think nipple piercings are fucking cool, and I'm jealous if you have them and can pull them off.
Agreed.
And like we said, because we don't wear bras anymore, it's just not a thing. Like it just makes everything look cooler. I just, I had a belly button piercing and that got stuck on a lot of things and hurt. So I can't imagine like
the nipples,
literally my areola being falling off. Like that sounds like a nightmare.
Like a true disaster. I want to give a shout out to, I know that none of us have like huge titties, and we can't, speak on the plight of big titty women. Although I feel your pain, because whenever I see videos or I see like in movies, shows, even my own friends making that like duct tape bra shit to hold your boobs up like that.
Oh my gosh.
And that is dedication.
And they look amazing.
They look awesome every time. I don't know how you learned how to do that, how your titties look so good, but
I always wish
do.
I could, but I can't.
I duct taped my boobs for the People's Choice Awards.
Oh, how'd it go?
They looked fantastic. Yeah. My boobs looked awesome. I'll bring up a picture.
In that photo. Yeah, I remember.
And that was the only time I duct taped my boobs because my skin fell off. Like that night, it was very painful.
But girls with big boobs have to do it often.
Yeah. Oh
I don't envy that,
imagine.
but
I do envy the big natural titties. Yeah, they look really good.
That's a good tape job.
Yeah, they look great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have like big boobs.
Did you use
your boobs are big?
Did you use boob tape or like duct tape?
No, duct tape.
Duct tape.
Yeah, like I use like straight up tape. Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're not small, but they're not huge. I would say they're medium sized.
Medium.
Classic boobs.
Yeah.
Classic boobs.
Do you get? This is a personal question. Do you get sweaty boobs? Like, do your boobs sweat a lot?
They're sweating right now.
Yeah. Sometimes I get sweaty boobs, but only in the middle, never underneath.
No, mine gets sweaty
only underneath. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. No, mine's always only in the middle.
I'm actually dripping sweat everywhere right now. I'm
sweating my dick off right now.
Actually.
Yeah.
It's
kind of hot.
My armpits. Yeah. It is hot in here. But yeah, I think that we can move on to the open mic segment, because I feel like a lot of people had a lot to say about boobs, and I want to hear what they had to say.
Can I shout out one pair of boobs really quickly? That
absolutely.
I think,
shout out a bunch
of
boobs.
Sydney Sweeney's boobs.
Sydney Sweeney.
I feel like you need to say her name with boobs.
Sydney Sweeney's boobs. It's like Stassi Baby's ass.
Yes.
Sydney Sweeney's boobs.
Perfect, beautiful, amazing, everything I've ever wanted.
They're unreal. She's like a stunning person. Have you guys seen that
gorgeous.
Weird fucking movie? What the hell is it?
She's been on Chicks in the Office, and I was like thinking about her boobs.
Of course.
Obviously, like not to sound disrespectful, but Sydney Sweeney's boobs.
Apart from Euphoria, she's been on this, she's in this like kind of scary movie where she's a pianist and she's trying to, it's a little Black Swan-esque actually. And it's very good. I watched it recently and she's really good in it too.
I know what
but she's like that,
about.
She's that kind of like, she's so sexy, but somehow seems innocent at the same
Cute,
time. Like she's that kind of vibe. I love her.
Yeah.
I love her. But yeah, so the boob discussion is going to go on for the rest of our lives, I think. Like all these bitches are writing in. Everybody wants to talk about boobs.
Yes.
Clearly they have issues. This person, Ann Call _ says, I hope I'm not alone in this. Has anyone else tried to weigh their boobs? Like, I've always wondered how much of my body weight should I not count because it's my boobs. I've heard of measuring them, doing water displacement because you can't really have a put them on a scale. Oh, and the mystery of the disappearing boob when you lay on your back. I loved that.
I was picturing her flopping a titty on a scale.
Yeah,
like boom.
My friend's done that because her tits are so big. She's literally plopped them on a scale before.
Did it work?
Yes, it worked. I think it was it was heavy. I know Trisha Paytas has done it, and her boobs are 35 pounds. But I think my friends were 15. Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's
that's
so
much weight.
That's a lot of weight to carry. I bet a lot of women listening probably are like, yeah, my boobs are fucking heavy.
Yeah.
They're really heavy.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Back pains, I can imagine.
One of my best friends had a breast reduction. Same thing. She grew boobs like so late, like in college, and that's why I'm like, I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
But she got a breast reduction. Her main complaint always was like sports bras, the straps, things like that. And
just
I was
uncomfortable
like,
in general.
Yeah.
No, so the answer is no. We've never weighed our boobs.
No,
but
I don't think I could weigh my boobs. Like this is all padded bra. Like I'm.
Are you stuffing again?
No, I swear I'm not. It's just a really good padded bra. This is my favorite bra that I wear with my.
Okay.
When I wear my stuff. It's
I'm
just
glad
a plain
you wore it today.
Black, like Victoria's Secret pink push-up bra. That's what it is.
Classic.
Mm-hmm. I use
It's
it
a
for
classic.
for my turtlenecks. Whenever you see that, that's the bra I've got on. And also, too, back to this girl, the disappearing boob when you lay on your back. Yeah, I feel that.
I hate
gone.
So I remember
Gone.
before I had sex for the first time, somebody had said that to me, like, talking about having sex with her boyfriend. She was like, yeah, I lay on, when I lay down in missionary, my boobs fucking disappear. And I was like, wait, what? And I went home and I got naked and I laid down and I looked down at myself and I was like, oh my God.
They're fucking gone.
They're gone. And nobody's going to want to have sex with me.
Right.
Looks like an alien. Your body looks deformed.
You look
your
crazy.
nipples are
yeah, they're out the other way.
Your boobs are like inside your armpits.
Yeah. Literally,
what
you
is
could
happening?
touch your nipple. You could tickle your armpit with your nipple.
Yes.
Like, that's how they just fall to the side.
The visual of that.
I thought it was just because I had smaller boobs, but I think it happens to everybody. I think it
does.
Nobody's boobs, unless they're fake, stay up because they're bolted on and they're not moving.
Yeah.
Only fake boobs would stay up in an upright position like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
That's a fact.
If your boob is made out of real boob meat,
it's a fact.
It's flopping to the side.
It's flopping to the side, and your nipple and armpit are making out.
Yeah. They're kissing.
It's just too much. This person says, let's see, Maria_McCarthy says, gotta figure out a way for people with big boobs who want a breast reduction to give their friends with small boobs who want breast implants. It makes more sense, and imagine the connection through your titties you and your friends would have. Just some food for thought. I love this. In the 6th grade, or maybe 7th, I had this exact same conversation with one of my friends. Her name was Katie. She had huge boobs, and she was complaining that she didn't like them anymore because she was a tumbler on the cheerleading team, and they got in the way when she would do her backflips. And I obviously was like stuffing my bra,
poking her in the eye.
Yeah, pretty much. It was actually, I think, 9th grade. And she always, to me, like unsolicited, by the way, would be like, I wish I could just give you my boobs. Like, I don't want them. Like, I wish I could just give them to you. And I always was like, thanks. Like, fucking bitch.
Sick.
But also, like, yes, realistically, that would be nice. Do you think that you would share a bond with somebody if you took some of their titty fat?
100%.
Or titty muscle, I should say.
Absolutely, but also at the same time, I feel like that's something they can hold against you. Like
those are my titties.
That's
bitch.
Like I made
when
you.
somebody
I made you hot.
Yeah. When somebody compliments her boobs, then you're gonna step in and be like, well, they're really my boobs. So,
I gave those to her.
Yeah, you're complimenting me.
When someone when you ask like, oh, can I borrow like an outfit or something? And you wear a shirt and you go out and your friend's like, and you hear, oh, cute shirt, and your friend that you borrowed it from, that's mine.
Mine.
She borrowed
mine.
it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, it looks good on me, clearly.
Yeah, it's like, I got a compliment. Let me accept the compliment.
If you were wearing it, they wouldn't say it was nice. So.
Wait, but with boob jobs, you know that you can get, a lot of people don't know this, and I'm fascinated by it, because this is the only boob job I would want. You can, like with the BBL, we talked about this last week, you can take your own fat from your stomach, from anywhere in your body, and shove it into your ass. You can now do that with boobs. You can take your own fat and put it into your boobs. So therefore, they wouldn't stay rock solid when you lay down. They would be fat titties.
Yeah, that's the boob job I think people should get.
That's what
like real
the famous
fat.
people get when they look like real. It's like they're real fat. Yeah, and they jiggle.
When I'm rich and famous, that's the
That's
one.
the one I would want.
Yeah, that's
I'm
also
kind of intrigued.
I'm intrigued by
I would
that
like
one.
that as well.
You could take your stomach fat and just put it into your boobs. Isn't that
I think
a
I probably
dream?
just put
Sounds
more into my
wonderful.
ass.
Yeah, see, like that's the thing too.
Yeah, there you are. This person, Aaron's underscore party underscore. My sister recently told me that your perfect lip color is your nipple color. Thoughts? And I checked my nipples out when I read this, and I went,
we all
you know
did.
what? That is actually a nice lip color for me, and one that I use often. Not currently, but one that I use often. So yeah, it makes sense for me.
I would say.
Take a look at your nips.
No, I've looked at them after I read that as well, of course. And
Okay, good.
I did it literally today in the room when you said it. I was like, okay, what's my nipple look like?
I would say a few years ago, yes, it was my preferred lip color.
Sure.
But now my preferred lip color is more of my natural color. Like right now, they're probably like a little crusty, so I don't have to like wipe them off.
I was like, don't
but
let
like
too close to
after
them.
I do my makeup and then like take makeup remover and wipe off like the foundation and concealer on my lips.
I like that
I have
color
like a
too.
nice reddish color that are not the color of my nipples, and I would prefer that color.
Yeah.
You know, my nipples are
Like
a little,
a flush color versus like neutral.
yeah, my nipples are a little nude.
Yeah,
Not,
as are mine.
Not
As are
completely
mine.
nude, but
But they're light. They're
Yeah.
they're not dark.
yeah, no, they're not dark
Yeah,
by any
no.
means.
No, yeah, I would say, I think I would like my nipple color as my lip color. I feel like it may already be. Like, I feel like it's a little pink.
Yeah, just a little pink.
Yeah.
just
like
a little
a
pink.
nudish pink.
Yeah, like a little
Yeah.
pink.
Yeah.
A little pink lipple nip moment.
Yeah,
Lipple
like
nip.
and now I'm
Nipple lip, yeah.
I'm weirdly looking at your lips and picturing your nipples.
I
Yeah,
did
me
the same
too,
thing.
yeah.
I had to look away from you, Bree.
Yeah.
You're like, I think they're about to sit, but I was like, okay.
Okay, well now I'm picturing your boobs.
Okay, well now I'm picturing you all naked.
And now
not gonna
everybody's
objectify Brie.
picturing all three of us naked now.
I
at
won't
this
objectify
point,
Bree's
so.
nipples in this place.
We will.
We
We're
will.
objectifying you. Your nipples look nice.
Let's see.
I
in my
see it in my
mind.
head and they
Yeah.
look good.
Yeah, they're good.
Picturing you naked and you look pretty
You guys
good.
look great.
This another person. I was never a bra stuffer, but I always wore a normal bra under a sports bra. I also did that.
I did
you
the
guys do
same
that?
thing, yes.
Yeah, of course. I think that might be it for boobs. Oh, there's one other thing which will appeal to the girls more my age who, or maybe their moms who like said this to them. I think it was Punky Brewster is a ridiculous reference that I'm always hearing. And they did this song. It was like, we must increase our bust. That was the song. And you would like hold your hands ahead of you and like tighten your, almost like Kegels, but for your boobs. Like you would tighten your right here. Do you see what I'm saying?
I'm feeling
and
it.
so you
You
go
would
like,
flex
we must increase our bust. And you would say it over and over.
We must.
To the
We
tune
must.
of that.
We must increase our bust.
Yeah, so that was literally like us running around all the time when we were younger. Because apparently, if the muscles here like get bigger, it makes your boobs stand up more.
Yeah.
Like I said, who knows if that's true? Not so much for me. So
This
literally,
is
who
like
knows?
I'm gonna put my brother on the spot, but when we were way younger, my neighbor had like, you know, she had good sized boobs and she was older.
She had a nice rack.
Yeah, she had a nice
That's cool.
rack. Still does.
Go for her.
And
Fatty rack.
Still does.
fatty rack. No, we
her.
can't go down this road again. Fatty rack.
No.
Yeah, she had a fatty rack. And my brother looked at her and said, "What do you feed those things? Milk and cookies?"
Oh my
To this
god.
day, we're still very, very close with our neighbors, and to this day, we bring it up constantly. We're like, "What do you feed those things? Milk and cookies?"
That's so fucking
and my
funny.
brother was like mad young too. It was just so out of pocket. We were like,
How did he even learn that? I can't picture your brother even saying
"No,
that.
my
I
brother's so
feel.
shy." Like, it was,
What do you
it-
feed
what do you
those
feed those?
funny?
Milk and cookies?
That's a compliment.
Yeah,
Oh my
it was
God.
absolutely milk and cookies.
Yes,
it's a good
milk and
compliment
cookie titties
for sure.
sound great to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is, oh my God, I really like that a lot. Before we move on to blunts, I'll go back to blunts after that. Last thought about boobs. Just for ladies wondering about their breasts and testing their breasts for breast cancer things and whatever. I actually didn't know the rules of that. Like I was like, hey, how
think
often
I
are you
do.
supposed to like touch your boobs? Like what are you supposed to feel for? Whatever. Apparently you're supposed to go to the doctor after age 20 every 3 years. That's what Google tells me. And that every few days, or the few days after your period is when you're supposed to like check out your boobs, like to see if they feel weird, because that's I guess when they're biggest or something.
Okay.
So just
That-
and
that's good
everybody-
insight,
I felt like it
really.
was good information to pass along as
Everybody
we were talking
should
about boobs.
get their boobs checked.
For sure.
On a serious note.
Yeah, you really should.
Yeah.
Do you guys? I feel like I'm
not good at that,
No,
I
I'm not
guess.
good at it at all. Like I'm never. I will like hold my boobs, but I don't like.
But I feel like
know,
we don't
look
have
for shit.
big, huge boobs where we would feel a lump.
I would
right?
think so.
I think so. I've checked mine a few times just because of the history in my family. And also, once I went to a medium and she, you know, my aunt was, dealing with. I don't really know all of the logistics because she didn't have like full-on breast cancer, but there were some warning signs, so some things had to be done. And that was like a topic of conversation in my family at that time. And I went to a medium around the same time, and they were like, you should get your boobs checked, basically. And made me think that there was something wrong in a way. But then I got them checked and they were fine, thankfully. But because that had been going on with my aunt at the same time, I was like, whoa, this is kind of crazy.
That
like
is
now
weird.
I think there's something wrong with me. There's not, thankfully. But yeah.
Damn, but that is a scary thing. And I feel like even if you're, you know, if that medium kind of sparked your, be like, oh, you know what, I should go just like check and make sure everything's okay. I feel like that is a thing that should happen all the time. I have a lot of friends whose, you know, moms have dealt with this. I have friends and they now are like, you know, they have to take the BRCA test, and I think that's what it's called. I don't want to be wrong about it. And things like that. And it's a stressful thing. And like, we're getting older. We're thinking about it. We're all over the age of 20 and we've got some boobs.
Yeah.
So
Check them out.
Take care of them.
Check out
Take
those
care
boobs.
of 'em.
Take care of them. As far as blunts and people submitting things, we have one funny story from a friend of mine, my friend Taylor Horsfield. Shout out, full name. He says,
We're
embarrassingly,
taking stories from friends now?
well, it happened to be about it, and he replied to the thing, and I was like, wow, how nice. So he goes, embarrassingly offered to roll a blunt for, I don't actually know if he wants me to tell the story, but I'm doing it anyway. Embarrassingly offered to roll a blunt for a group of people, including people I didn't know, and then took a bowl hit before trying to roll it. Big mistake. Got too high and miserably failed at rolling it. Wasted the materials I got and was beat red in embarrassment. Attendees called it quite possibly the worst blunt of all time. First opportunity I got, I said I was going to the bathroom and I just left, leaving behind my weed and my bowl. Fallen soldiers, but couldn't possibly face those people a moment longer.
That's quite embarrassing.
Do you feel that way, Rhea? Do you think he made the right move by leaving?
No.
I
he
would've
made it worse by
been out
leaving.
the door.
I agree.
Because
Worse by
the
leaving.
Especially if you're high paranoid, though.
No,
I'd
but
be
the
like, I
worst
gotta
that's
go.
going to happen and the worst that could happen or I've seen happen is like, yo, that's a shitty blunt. Like you did a shitty job.
Right.
And then somebody else will take over with the materials.
I also feel that way. I can't believe that they let him like struggle like that. Like I'm like, why didn't somebody
Yeah, why
just be
did
like,
somebody
listen,
take
man,
over?
you're too fucking
Yeah,
high. Like you're
right.
too high to do this.
That would be
Do you
me.
ever get too high and still volunteer to roll blunts and then produce bad blunts?
I could roll a blow with my eyes closed at this point in time.
Damn,
I'm not
okay.
trying to brag, but I am a
feel like you can brag.
superior blunt roller.
If you've got a skill like that, brag
Yeah,
about it.
I do. I
'Cause
roll.
I don't have that
I don't roll good joints, but I roll the best blunts.
Well,
so the blunts make up for
The
it.
next question is basically directly at you. Olivia, She Mass X says, can we get some blunt rolling tips? Do you have any tips for the people?
I feel like I can't give tips without actually showing it. So if you want to see me roll a blunt, go to Tommy Smokes' Instagram
Oh, yeah.
and you will find a blunt rolling ASMR video. It's the only place that this video is still up because it was taken down everywhere else. Even though it was fucking popping, but new rules had to be taken down, but it's still on Tommy Smokes' Instagram. So you could see me teach them how to roll a blunt and then you'll be able to
Pick up tips.
I can't really say specific tips. I would say, you know, make sure it's, people hate this word, but like moist in some way. You got to like breathe on it, breathe on the leaf a little bit before you start rolling. Really depends on the kind of wrap you're going to go for. A backwood is my choice. And I would have to show you. I can't describe,
it's a
you know, and it's
visual
a visual thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's the way you're
my
describing
one
it
tip
right
would just
now.
to make sure that it's not damp, but like, you know, like breathe, like go like that with it, because if
Okay.
it's dry, it's not going to stick together well. It's going to be
That's a really
flaky.
good tip because I never would have done that. I would have just like pulled it apart. I don't even know how to pull it apart, but I never
peel
would
it
have thought
open,
to
yeah.
like
empty
like,
the
breathe on it.
guts and then
I've seen people do that in my adult life, but my most vivid memory of someone rolling a blunt is at my parents' kitchen table when I had one single party in high school and one person like rolled a blunt, but I didn't know what he was doing. He was just taking apart a cigar, and I was like, "What the fuck is like? What is this? It's getting my parents' table fucked up.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is." In retrospect, it was a blunt.
I used to love rolling blunts.
And lastly, that was excellent advice, Rhea. Thank you for that.
you're welcome. I'm glad I could share something.
Yeah, that was really good. This last person, she sent through, it just says, to bitch or not to bitch should be a game on this week's episode. Liz Mole, thank you for that. The game itself, yes, that's fun. I wanted to ask you from there, are you guys like bitch and moaners? Like, do you complain a lot? I'm a complainer. Like, I bitch about everything. And bitch as a verb.
Yeah, to specific people, like you know, you. I
Yeah,
complain
yeah.
often
Like venting?
to you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say it's more venting. Well, I guess it's bitching. It's
Yeah,
bitching
right.
and
It's like
moaning
the
is
same-
venting.
Yeah, it's basically.
But
the same
Yeah.
thing.
I don't just like bitch all the time, like you just said.
Yeah,
like,
no, I'm not like trying to like, you know, rain on people's parade because that kind of
No.
pisses me off.
Yeah,
but
I
like,
bitch a lot. I bitch.
yeah, but not in you know the appropriate times.
That's true. That's true. You got to read the room when it comes to bitching. Like you
Yeah.
can't be. Also can't be the person that's always complaining to the point where it's
where it's like you're
you
the
can't
bitcher.
even. Yeah,
Oh,
like
the
you
Debbie
can't even have a
Downer.
conversation.
Yes.
Yes.
Womp womp.
Yes.
There's a fine line between like bitching about some stuff and like being a fucking Debbie Downer. Like you can't be.
I
a
will
Debbie
like do it
Downer.
in my head sometimes where I'm like, this fucking sucks. Like, oh my God. But like,
Yeah,
I won't
yeah.
say it out loud.
Right.
Because
Right.
I feel like a Debbie Downer. So I feel like I bitch a lot inside my head.
I'm with you on
It
that.
shows in the face, but and you think it doesn't, but it does.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
Yeah.
I just always have a mean face, but I don't try to.
Do you guys have strong bitch faces?
I have been told I very much
I think
do
you
in
do,
my
yeah.
life. Yeah,
I think you do also.
Because see that's the thing.
But not
People
in a
have
bad- I wouldn't
people
say in a
have
bad way.
always said to me like, we thought you were going to be really mean, but you're actually
Same,
really
same,
nice.
yeah.
That's something that I get often, and
I don't mind that.
you're
kind
a
of
Leo.
makes me it kind of makes me upset in some way because I'm like, I'm a nice person, but then I'm also like, well, you know, I guess.
But then not everyone will
It's-
approach you and you don't have to talk to
Right.
everyone.
At
I
the
like
same
that part.
time, it's
Yeah, that's nice.
also like Megan Fox has a resting bitch face, and she's like the hottest person on the planet. So
True.
there you go.
Do you guys think I have a resting bitch face?
No,
I don't think I do either.
You have a welcoming face.
you do.
That's really sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, you
I
do.
feel like I just look like surprised and scared all the time.
You have big, welcoming eyes
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
nice.
that lure you
Brig,
in.
I feel like you have a welcoming face also most of the
that's
time.
good.
I feel like
Okay.
you can have a bitch face, but I
Yeah.
think that
Okay.
your general face is
Yeah, your resting
makes
face
sense.
looks pretty normal.
So,
Yeah. Sup?
yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
maybe
so
I have
that's
I
good.
want to work on my face now because it makes me sad that people think that. But
All my
is what it
like
is.
closest friends are like hear those same things. They're like, "Oh, we all thought you were so mean until we got to know you." Like all of my best friends are the same way.
I get that all the time. Like all my comments are like, I thought you were gonna be so mean, and then like I listened and or I met you, and I'm like, really? I feel like we seem like we'd be nice.
yeah, like if you listen to us, you would think we were nice. I
Yeah.
guess when people just see on Instagram, they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that girl's got to be mean."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess
But
so.
if they know us, they would know we're nice people.
We're nice.
I also feel like there's a difference between being bitchy or looking bitchy and looking intimidating. I feel like sometimes people confuse those. Like I wouldn't look at a guy like an intimidating older man or like some sort of man that seems intimidating and immediately think like, wow, that guy's a dick, unless he's like dressed like a dick.
Oh.
But if you see a woman who's like looking stern, you wouldn't be like, wow, she's powerful. You'd be like, oh, she looks like a total bitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I
hate
wonder
that.
I hate that too.
I would say maybe I'm a little bit more intimidating than bitch.
For sure. Yeah, that's how I
Okay,
feel.
I like that actually. Intimidating. I can be down.
I think
with
we
that.
all need to embrace being intimidating. Like I think that it's not rude to be intimidating. It's powerful sometimes.
Oh my God. Okay.
You feel
I'd
that
love
way?
to. I would
feel
love
it,
to.
yeah.
I don't know
end on
where
that note.
where
feel
I
like-
got this feminist rant, but here I am.
You know what? I feel like it's a confidence.
I feel that way too.
Having confidence. Be intimidating.
Yeah.
Get out there. Be your nasty
intimidating.
selves.
Yes.
Be intimidating.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that is all I have for you ladies on those topics
Amazing.
from the people. Thank you to everybody who reached out. Again, we're still working on the call in. Probably by next week we'll have that set up for you guys. I'm excited to start hearing your voices versus just reading your DMs.
And we will definitely have it set up by next week because next week's episode is it's the best one yet. You know, we're only on the third episode next
Yes.
week and the
Yes.
third letter, but it's quite good. It is. Should I say it? I'll say it.
Say it.
Yeah, we can say it.
Cunts. You know, let's all get a good chuckle
Yeah.
there.
Ha ha ha.
Cannibalism. And conspiracies. So there is going to be much to dissect and talk about.
Much.
Way deeper than
Lots.
any of the topics that we've gotten to yet. You know, we wanted to start you guys off easy, but now
feel
that
like you
we
need
now
to get
we
high
are
next
yeah.
week to listen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure.
next week
And
will
when
be a-
we are
Listeners
entering,
need to be high as well.
yeah. So be
Yes.
prepared. Make sure you're ready to smoke before you listen next week. And I think that it's safe to say from this moment on, it's about to get crazy. That it's
We didn't want to start off
we
too
didn't want to
fucked
start
up.
Yeah,
off
it's
too
about to
fucked
get
up, but
crazy.
it's the upcoming letters. It's about to get crazy. So
That's where shit
You know
shit
us
starts
now.
rolling.
You're gonna really know us now, and then
Yeah.
we won't be able to prove you otherwise. So
and you're gonna hate us, and that's okay. But you'll
It's
keep
fine.
listening.
Yeah.
So love you guys, and let's move on to the table read.
All right, it is now time for the infamous table read. I think this is like one of our favorite things because we get really into it. We're really passionate, and today we're doing Mean Girls, okay? We have 3 scenes. We have the famous phone call, and then we have Janice screaming at Katie, and then we have a very special scene from Kelly Keegs, who is going to be Crazy Gretchen, and we're really hyped up for that one.
We're excited.
Yeah.
I need to get out some aggression, and this is how I plan to do it. Thank you, ladies, for allowing me to do it.
Of course. And you said that this is our favorite thing to do, which it is. It might be people's least favorite thing we do. We don't know yet because we haven't seen the reaction because we are recording this before our first episode's released.
Right.
We have no idea how people are going to react to this. They might be like, all right, shut up, guys. You aren't actors.
Yeah, this is pretty self-indulgent of us. Like, especially me today. Like, very self-indulgent. But whatever, man. Like, we're honing our skills. Like,
and it's not that long. We're doing like small scenes. So it's not like it's like this whole podcast we're going to be reading a season.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
Yes.
And act like you're watching the goddamn movie.
Yeah. Envision it, okay? Yeah. And every week I feel like people should vote on who's the best.
Yeah, send in your picks.
Yeah, because then it will make it better for you guys listening because there's a reason why you're listening.
It'll be like a little competition.
Yes. And at the end of the year, someone wins it all.
Fabulous.
So we're not doing. Noah gave the Oscar out.
We
last
have a trophy coming. By the way.
Okay.
That's
So he has to give it.
I like him giving out.
All right, ladies, time to impress Noah.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
We actually almost made Noah be Katie, but he declined.
Yes. Respectfully declined.
So now I will be playing Katie and Karen because they're the only two that don't talk. Well, they don't talk to each other directly, but whatever.
I'll be playing Gretchen. Bree is
I am playing Regina.
Our Regina George.
Yes. Okay. Gretchen thinks you're mad at her because she's running for Spring Fling Queen.
Oh my God. I'm not mad at her. I'm worried about her. I think somebody nominated her as a joke or something. And when nobody votes for her, she's going to have a meltdown. And who's going to have to be there to take care of her? Me.
So you don't think anyone will vote for her?
Katie, she's not pretty. I mean, that sounds bad, but whatever. The Spring Fling Queen is always pretty. The crazy thing is, it should be Karen, but people forget about her because she's such a slut. I gotta go. I'm going to bed.
Well, she's not mad at you.
Hold on.
Hello?
If someone said something bad about you, you want me to tell you, right?
No.
What if you thought it was someone that was your friend?
What are you... hold on. That's my other line.
Let's go out.
Okay, hold on. I'm on the other line with Gretchen.
Don't invite Gretchen. She's driving me nuts.
Okay, hold on. It's Regina. She wants to hang out with me tonight, but she told me not to tell you.
Do not hang out with her.
Why?
You don't want me to tell you.
Just tell me. Hold on. Oh my God, she's so annoying.
I know,
Who
right?
is? No,
wait.
No, she says it again.
Oh, fuck. Wait, where are we?
No, because she forgets to hang up. So
I was reading the same exact line right here.
Classic.
Love it.
All right.
You fucked up, Brianna.
Fucked it all up.
Way to go. We were doing so well.
We were.
I'm still like fake on the phone.
I'm trying not to
You're like
just get
still
off the phone.
pretending to be Gretchen over there.
No, I'm like, ah.
Well, I'm trying not to make it loud with the paper, so I'm like
Such a
down.
Regina thing to do, to just step in out
I
of
know.
nowhere. Okay.
I guess it was good.
Let's
though.
rewind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just tell me. Hold on. Oh my God, she's so annoying.
Who is?
Who's this?
Gretchen.
Right. Hold on. Oh my God, she's so annoying.
I know, right? Just get rid of her.
Okay, what is it?
Regina says everyone hates you because you're such a slut.
She said that?
You didn't hear it from me.
Little harsh, Gretch.
Whatever. She has the right to know.
I can't go out. I'm sick.
Boo, you whore.
Okay, not my
Nice.
favorite scene out of the 3 that we have.
Yeah,
but
definitely not. But it's just the one that had like everybody in it.
Yeah,
you know?
iconic.
Yeah, iconic scene. Had to do it.
Yeah, I wish we were doing the Jingle Bell Rock one where we were
right?
performing, like we actually
Oh my!
got up
I
and
thought
did
about
the
that
entire
last night.
dance.
I was like, what if we like somehow got costumes and like learned the dance, and then I thought it would.
There's
be too
still
much.
time.
There's still. It's true.
There's-
the podcast just be this song then.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it would just be that, but it would just be like, us dancing. Watch YouTube for that one, I guess.
Right. All right. Next scene is Katie and Janice's big fight.
A drive-by.
Their breakup.
Yeah. Yes.
The drive-by. Me
Yeah.
and Damien were.
Katie
we're
had
in
a
the
party.
Car. You're driving, but you're on the other
Oh
side.
yeah. Okay. I'm driving right here.
All right. And scene. Oh shit.
You dirty little liar.
I can explain.
Explain how you couldn't invite us to your party?
You know I couldn't invite you. I had to pretend to be a plastic.
Oh, you're not pretending anymore. You're plastic. Cold, hard, shiny plastic.
I have a curfew.
You know, at least people like me and Regina George know we're mean. You act like you're so innocent. Oh, I used to live in Africa with all the little birdies and the little monkeys.
Curfew, 1 a.m. It is now 1:10.
Did you have an awesome time? Did you take awesome shooters and sit around and soak up each other's awesomeness?
Shut up. It's not my fault. You're like in love with me or something.
Oh, no, she did not.
That's the thing about you plastics. You think everybody's in love with you when actually everybody hates you. Take Aaron Samuels. He broke up with Regina and he still doesn't want you. So why are you still messing with Regina, Katie? Oh, it's because you're a mean girl. You're a bitch.
Nice.
Insane.
Nicely done.
You fucking suck. I hate you.
Great emphasis on bitch there. I love it.
Thank you.
I was happy
Thank
for
you.
you.
All right. All right.
Are we
Miss-
ready?
Kelly's time to
Miss
shine.
Kelly
My time.
Keegs really wanted to do this scene.
I did.
It's like a solo Gretchen scene.
It's literally
And she was
just
like, "Can I
Gretchen."
just do this myself?" So we
We're
said,
like, "Sure."
You sure, Kelly? We
just-
pat her on the
Gretchen-
head. We
yeah.
said,
It's
"Yeah."
when she like
Sounds
freaks
like
out.
she needs it.
She freaks out after the I do. She like freaks out after everybody's like ganging up on her over and over again, and then she's reading her like paper aloud to the class. Is the scene?
Yeah. So we're gonna lead her in, but it's really all about her.
Yes.
So please don't focus on us, and although me and Brie are great actresses.
Yeah.
It's about Kelly right now.
Yeah, it's about me right now.
Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
Gretchen Wieners had cracked.
Why should Caesar get to stomp around like a giant while the rest of us try not to get smushed under his big feet? What's so great about Caesar? Brutus is just as cute. Fucking fuck.
That's not how Gretchen does it.
No, it is. It is. Listen. All right.
You're
All right.
so bad. Stand up.
Yeah, stand
and
up
fucking
and read
give
the
us
paper.
something.
Yeah.
I feel better standing.
Okay.
Can you hear me with this? Am I too tall? I'll stand like this.
Let's piss her off so she gets
I know.
pissed
Like
off
this.
and does a
Is
good
this better?
job.
On the table.
Show us some fucking passion.
who
you
If
are.
I was a casting director, I'd say
stand
leave.
like that. My knees
You
are-
fucked up, leave.
My knees are
You have
too.
one chance.
I'll hold the mic for you.
It's heavy. That's really nice. Okay. All right. Ready? I'm just going to start it.
Okay.
Why should Caesar get to stomp around like a giant while the rest of us try not to get smushed under his big feet? What's so great about Caesar? Brutus is just as cute as Caesar.
You messed up!
It's so hard to say Brutus and Caesar. Like, I didn't realize how fucking hard that would be. One more time.
Okay.
Why should Caesar get to stomp around like a giant while the rest of us try not to get smushed under his big feet? What's so great about Caesar? Brutus is just as cute as Caesar. Brutus is just as smart as Caesar. People totally like Brutus just as much as they like Caesar. And when did it become okay for everybody to become the boss of everyone anyway? That's not what Rome is about. We should totally just stab Caesar.
Scene.
Thoughts? I messed up one line.
You
It
messed
pissed me
up
off.
one. You messed up one.
I messed up one line. It really killed me, but I didn't want to stop.
Let's push her to her limit.
Let's push
Okay.
her.
All right. I'm
More
sweating.
passion.
I'm sweating in here.
You got to get into the mic too, because you can't.
you're right.
What if you get a good one and then you
You're
fuck
right.
up the audio?
You're right.
Oh, this is better.
Is this so heavy? I feel
No,
bad.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
No, don't hold it. I got it.
Okay. Why should Caesar get to stomp around like a giant while the rest of us try not to get smushed under his big feet? What's so great about Caesar? Brutus is just as cute as Caesar, okay? Brutus is just as smart as Caesar. People totally like Brutus just as much as they like Caesar. And when did it become okay for one person to be the boss of everybody? That's not what Rome is about. We should totally just stab Caesar!
That was good.
Woo!
Yeah!
I'm shaking with real anger. Oh, that was fun. Oh, that's when she's just like crying. I mean, I could do that too. That's easier for me. It's way easier for me to cry.
Oh, I just
I
gotta
mean,
work
if you
in
even
it.
knew how mean she really was, you know I'm not allowed to wear hoop earrings, right? She told me 2 years ago that hoop earrings were her thing and I wasn't allowed to wear them anymore. And then my parents got me a pair of really expensive white gold hoops for Hanukkah and I had to act like I didn't even like them. It was so sad. Oh, and you know she still cheats on Aaron, right? Every Thursday she hooks up with Jane Omen above in the... What the fuck is the name of the room? In the projection room above the auditorium, and I never told anybody because I am such a good friend.
You nailed that one. Except for the fuck up, you nailed that one.
But
and you know what?
It's a different word on this fucking thing.
I'm glad we pushed you to your limit.
Thank you for doing that.
Pushing
it got
you there.
I felt great about it.
Yeah.
I feel good. I got that anger out, and I'm in a good mood.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you, ladies, for
video.
indulging me.
Yeah. Noah, thoughts?
This is a tough one, but you were very good as Janice.
Thank
and
you.
It was very good.
On any other day, I would give you the award. But I think it has to go to Kelly today.
We pushed
it has
her.
to. We
Yeah.
pushed her to her limit. I would have
Thank you,
been. I
guys.
would have rejected the award and told you to give it to Kelly if you had given it.
She
to
was
me.
shaking with
Thank
anger.
you.
Yeah. Like she
I
was.
was.
In
I
character.
still feel it. I still
Yeah.
feel angry.
I'm glad you got into
sweating a
character.
lot.
I was worried a little bit. I was like, "That's the best performance she's gonna get us." No,
I was like, yeah,
No.
people are gonna fucking hate the table.
No.
yeah, like if Kelly's not
Thank you,
putting in
guys.
her all.
Thank you for pushing
It
me.
sucked.
I'm taking the Oscar. I would not be here without you guys for pushing
The
me
mouth.
here.
The mouth.
Yeah, it's called the mouth.
Yeah, it's called
The
the
award
mouth.
is called
Oh, the mouth. Oh, I
Yes.
love that. I didn't even know that. Thank
Yes,
you
you
for
did. We came up with it together.
Was I here?
I think we were drunk.
Are you sure?
We were high.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Obviously.
I don't even remember that. Well, that was a while ago we recorded. Anyway, thank you. Yes, I accept this mouth. I appreciate it. I would not be here without the guidance and the pushing of both of you. And Noah, also thank you to the Academy.
Good tear.
Scene.
Beautiful.
That wraps up today's episode. Everybody, make sure you rate, review, subscribe. If you're listening to the show, make sure you tag us on social media. We'll be sharing it all over the place. And get excited for next week's episodes because we're going to dive deep.
Yes, we are.
See you next week.